Okay, welcome back, guys. So there's a lot of people making a lot of money on Etsy, and there is no doubt that it is a proven sales platform. But then why is it that after putting in loads of time and loads of effort into your Etsy shop that you may still not be making a full-time income on Etsy yet? Because in my opinion, that should always be the goal. Well, one thing I've learned from selling on Etsy myself over the last few years and also working directly with a lot of you guys on your shops is that sometimes even just one or two small mistakes that you don't even know you're making can be massively killing your sales potential for your business. But the good news is that once we notice and recognize and rectify these mistakes, then we normally end up making a lot more sales than we ever have done before. So today I'm going to talk you through the 7 mistakes that I just keep seeing sellers making on Etsy that are massively killing their shop sales potential. And we're gonna start with either over or under pricing your products. So look guys, poor product pricing can really scare away shoppers. Price your products too high and they won't buy because obviously they're gonna go to a competitor and try and find a lower price. Price your products too low and then this can really give off a perceived lack of quality in your products. So guys, this is why I always recommend to be in line and offer as competitive pricing as possible with your products. But then what we want to do is actually give more perceived value in our products. And we can do this by exceptional marketing, using exceptional photography, exceptional mock-up images, and really making our products look like they're a lot more expensive than what maybe they actually are. And guys, to find that sweet spot for pricing of your products, you should be doing this anyway, but regularly carrying out bestseller research on products, seeing what they're selling for in your niche. And if you do this for long enough, over time, you're gonna have a very clear-cut value in your head of exactly what you should be pricing your products at. Okay, next mistake that I see all the time, guys, and this is only selling products that you like and not what the market actually wants. So look, many people fall into the trap of only selling products that they like and would buy themselves. And to be honest, this is just completely missing the point of what a business is actually for. We need to be selling products that are in demand and that the marketplace actually wants, not just what we want. So, I would say this is just like a tattooist only doing tattoos of a lion just because all they like is lions. Well, actually, if they were a little bit more open-minded about what the market actually wants, then they probably get a lot more business. Because, there's a lot of tattoos out there that are going to be in very high demand. That's not just lions. So guys, it's very important to keep innovating and adding new products to your store on a regular basis that there is actually a level of demand for. And guys, an easy way to do this is to check for the search volume and the sales of similar products and similar items in your niche that are selling on Etsy already. And by the way, not just what's selling on Etsy that's similar to yours, but also on Google, also on Amazon. It's going to give you a lot of product ideas, products that are in demand. If it's selling elsewhere online, then there's a good chance that if you sell similar on your store, market it better, then you've got every chance of making sales. You know that there's going to be demand there for the product. And the next mistake I see people making all the time, guys, is copying bestsellers way too much. So look guys, the thing is, and I promote it, lots of other Etsy YouTubers promote it as well, you do want to regularly be doing your bestseller research on Etsy, and certainly if you're new, basing concepts and designs and products on what is already working. But what you definitely don't want to do is just straight up copy bestsellers that already exist. Because obviously what's going to happen then? We're a new store, or we're a store with much lower sales than the best selling product store that we're actually going to be directly competing against if we just straight up copy them. So why is anybody going to choose our product over theirs? That is not what you want to do. What you actually want to do is continuously do your bestseller research. So suddenly then you've got a good idea in your mind of what, say, 10 different best-selling products look like in your niche. And then you can take, say, some aspects from bestseller A, some aspects from bestseller B, combine them together, and then suddenly you've taken concepts or marketing strategies, whatever it is, from 2 different bestseller listings that is working, combine them together, and you've suddenly then created your own listing in a unique approach that is based on some proven strategy that has been working before. And so, for example, I just started working with a client shop that sells kimonos as one of their main products, okay? And when we were doing our bestseller research, we noticed together that gift boxes on Etsy were selling very, very well. And this shop owner actually already sold lots of other smaller items in their shop. And so we thought, okay, gift box sell well, kimonos sell well. We couldn't find anything on the market that combined the two. So we combined the two. And then pretty much straight away, guys, I'm not joking, very quickly, this shop owner made a sell of the kimono gift box. And yeah, it was a great proof of concept. So I promise you guys, Don't just go and straight up copy bestsellers, take design aspects and make your own. Next mistake, and this is letting AI just do your SEO for you. So look, I see this all the time. Some shop owners, like, they just let AI run wild and just do 100% of their SEO for them. And guys, I can promise you, if this is the approach you take, you will definitely find it so much harder to be seen on Etsy. This is not a joke. And now I've carried out A/B tests on my channel before, literally testing 2 of the identical products listed in the exact same way. The only difference is the SEO approach taken on those listings. So to me, it is crystal clear. SEO plays a vital role on Etsy in terms of getting your product seen, subsequently then getting product sales. And guys, look, I know that we like to use AI for a lot of things nowadays. I'm the exact same. It saves us so much time. But one thing I will say is that there is other methods out there that is proven way better than using AI for your SEO that actually work and can save you just as much time. And one of them is going to be using keyword research apps such as Everbee. Because, I can go on here, I can use a product analytics tool, I can find best-selling products in my niche that I know are proven to be getting sales. And then, as you see, I can literally just go into them. Not only can I see all the SEO that listing is using with the search volumes compared to the competition, by the way, but also just with a click of a button, I can copy all of the tags, go back into my own Etsy listing, paste them into my Etsy listing, and I can use them directly as my own. Not only that, guys, with Everbee, you can also search for keywords, and not only will it give you lots of similar suggested keywords that you can use, but you can also very clearly see the search volumes for those keywords compared to the competition, which, is going to be crucial information to know for getting seen, especially if you're a newer shop and you're struggling with your SEO. So guys, if you want to check out Everbee, I do recommend them. There is going to be a sponsored link in the video description. I said, I use them every day. They massively help me save so much time. They help me with my SEO so much. And I can almost guarantee if you're not using a keyword research app, once you start using one, you will see improvements in your SEO. Okay, so next mistake I see all the time, guys, and this is having too few listings. Okay, guys, so I want you to remember what I'm about to say very clearly, okay? Etsy is an algorithmic search engine-based marketplace. So people always discover you for your product first and not through your brand first. So having the right products and enough of them listed on your store is going to be crucial to getting seen. And guys, you will see some massive shops on Etsy with, over 100, over 500, over 1,000 listings. And usually any stores that have, say, over 1,000 listings, they're normally making a pretty good amount of sales. And look, guys, I know we all sell different sorts of products. If you're out there and you're making products by hand, or, you're selling physical products, granted, I know it's going to be a lot harder to get a lot of listings out, but it's not impossible. If you are in that category, please don't just sit on where you're at now. Honestly, you should really always look to be innovating and still adding new products to your store in a manageable amount, by the way. But it's something that, in my opinion, you should always look to be doing. Because, I have the pleasure of working with and seeing a lot of shops, and they come to me and they've got, say, under 50 listings. They're wondering why they're not getting any views. They're not picking up much traction. And this is because, like I said, Etsy is a product-first marketplace. The more products you have, obviously, just massively enhances your chances of getting seen on the marketplace itself. And not only that, guys, but obviously with the more products you have, the more clicks you're going to get on them on different products, means the more feedback you're going to get, the more stats you're going to have to work from on what's working, what isn't working. And in my opinion, there's just no negative to it. Keep working on your product listings. I promise you, it's going to pay dividends in the long run. Okay, next mistake that I still see so many sellers making, guys, and this is ignoring bad reviews. So look, if you sell products to the general public, there is no question on earth, it's almost as certain as death and taxes, that you are going to end up getting some 1-star reviews. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, I'm sorry, I don't want to burst any bubbles, but it is going to happen at some point. And, I see so many sellers that if they get 1-star reviews, they just don't do anything about it. They just leave it. They don't message the customer. They don't respond to the customer. They just don't do anything to try and fix it. They just leave a really damaging 1-star review on their shop, which is going to massively hurt your conversion rates. There's no question. People look at reviews. You look at reviews. I look at reviews. We like to look at reviews before we buy something, especially online. And so I can safely say, for myself personally, for every shop that I own on Etsy, I make it an absolute mission to pay close attention to my customer service. And this goes above just responding to customer messages on time and being friendly, okay? This is also going the extra mile to turn an unhappy customer into a happy customer. For example, me, I've had 1-star reviews before, right? Everybody has. When you make enough sales, you're kind of guaranteed to get a 1-star review. First thing I do, message them privately, try and sort things out. If you cannot sort it out for whatever reason, okay, as a last resort, but something I always make sure to do, I'll just offer a full refund. For me, I know the impact a really bad 1-star review can have on your store long-term for conversion rates and sales. And for me, the price of refunding one order, I know that that's going to be a bigger return than just accepting a 1-star review, which is going to cost me many more orders into the future. So yeah, moving on to the next mistake, guys, that I see people making all the time, and this is reading their stats incorrectly. So if any of you don't know, I'm a little bit of a nerd for this. Well, for most things really, but especially for statistics, and especially statistics that have a direct correlation to how much money I'm going to be putting in my pocket. So look, businesses scale based on statistical analysis, running with what is proven to work, and then learning from what the statistics say isn't working. If you do not know how to correctly interpret stats on Etsy, then you are never gonna be able to scale. And you know, guys, this doesn't have to be complicated. If you're running ads, one of the easiest stats that I use to look at is the CTR, or the click-through rate of products on stats. And again, just a very simple explanation here. One thing I like to do is A/B test the same product, but using different listing images to see what approach of thumbnail image gets the highest click-through rate. Of course, this is something that's shown to us on Etsy ad stats. So you can take two listings the exact same, the only difference is the thumbnail image. Obviously, one of them is gonna get a higher click-through rate than the other one. Just very simply, by interpreting these stats and knowing how to look at them properly, I can then say, okay, right, listing A, that thumbnail image approach worked so much better than listing B. Remember, everything else on the listing is the same. So that means going forward, I'm gonna use that thumbnail image approach on many more of my listings, and the other thumbnail approach that didn't do so well, maybe I'll use that less in the future. And I think it's always good as well, guys, to keep on top of what listings for you are actually performing best by looking at the stats. And if you click into them, you can see a lot more detailed stats of where the traffic is actually coming from those listings. But not only that, importantly, you can also see which search terms on the listings you're actually ranking highest for, and what people are actually typing in to find your products. And then of course, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna use these search terms, and then for any other listings that we can apply them to, we're gonna use them because we know that customers are using these keywords to search for our products, and we are ranking for them. And guys, look, if you wanted a whole bunch of other Etsy tips that I know are guaranteed to improve your sales from where they are now, if they get followed correctly, then I've done a whole video on this. I'll link it just here. I fully recommend to check it out. Otherwise, guys, I just want to say I love all of you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.